Sims for me.
I was
think.
just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll go to bed, I'll go eat a meal, and there's
Yeah.
like that cheat where you can like give yourself millions of pounds.
Yeah, well, I've done that. Yeah.
So I'd probably say Sims as well.
I think Gabriella froze on us though.
Oh no.
Unless she's doing a full-on Marcel Marceau.
Hi guys.
Hi,
Thank you for
Gabriella.
Thank you for being in my show. I'm happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
Good morning, Goldie. My name is Guy, and I live in Free City. I have everything I need. Except one thing. Hey! Excuse me. Hey!
I have to start by asking you both, and if you want to start, Ryan, that would be great. What was your relationship with these video games you referred to in Free City, and how did it change throughout the process of making Free Guy?
I have I'll be the first to say I don't have a tremendously strong connection to video games. I mean, I have 3 daughters, that are 6 and under, and there's no time for stuff like that. I certainly played a lot of video games getting ready for the movie and, little Fortnite, little Grand Theft Auto, things like that to sort of really understand some of the parameters of it. But I'll say that the movie aside, the movie really delves, deeply into our culture and it's an action comedy, but it's dealing with sort of a specific aspect of our culture, which is the video game culture. But over the pandemic, that was where I really kind of got a new appreciation for video games, not because it occupied time or because I personally fell in love with them. I saw how important connectivity is for people, and to feel like a sense of community and feel like we're a part of something. And, when people are sequestered in their homes and they're unable to go to cinemas, unable to go to school, unable to go to all these places, or if they're, for some other physical reason aren't able to leave their homes, video games really create a connection to the outside world and a community in that world. And I think there's something super important about that. So my idea about video games changed more over the last year than they did just making them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And what about you, Jody? I feel like if you're a gamer, you're going to be the dream come true of most people.
Yeah, well, I knew very, very little about video games. And that was also my homework. Production very kindly got me a PlayStation 4, which I had in my apartment. And Spider-Man was my favorite, mainly because it was very innocent and I could just swing from the buildings and not cause anyone harm. But yeah, it was incredible doing that, because especially now having seen the film and seeing the visual effects and just seeing all the tiny, tiny details that have been put in that you could blink and miss, but have been so thought out, I think is really, really fun to watch and appreciate.
Hey, bud, you ever think that there's got to be more? More than what? The stuff we do day after day.
Literally not once.
Today's gonna be different, Goldie. What are we looking at?
Who are you?
We ran into each other the other day.
How did you find me?
I waited outside by the murder train.
And Ryan, you were talking about this film being more about the culture and the culture we're involved in. And I feel like it seems like standing out in such a competitive world can have its cons and its pros. So you guys are part of such a competitive world as well, especially in Hollywood. So which are the pros and the cons of being popular?
Wow, I don't even know how to answer that. Yes, well, Hollywood is, yes, very competitive. I don't know. My expectations have always been, very low. So when you set the bar very low, like you're always pleasantly surprised. I moved to California years and years and years ago. I live in New York now, but I moved to California to join the Groundlings and be an improv comedian. Work on stage doing improv comedy. So that led to my wildest dream was to be like a wacky neighbor on a sitcom. I never thought I'd be starring in movies or producing movies or writing movies or any of that stuff. So, it's all every day is kind of not really a given, but it certainly is appreciated, the fact that I get to do this job in this way.
Yeah, I guess another pro is being surrounded by so much incredible work and, talented people who really truly adore what they do. They come at it with an energy that is so infectious and inspiring. So I think to be able to be surrounded by that is pretty amazing.
Guy, I have to tell you something. There is no easy way to say this. This world, it's a video game.
I really want to kiss you. Is that weird?
Listen to me. You're not real.
Wait, you let who kiss you?
Guy.
There's not a button for that.
Oh, he found the button.
I feel ultimately what Guy is teaching us is that you don't get different results if you do the same things every day. Do you remember a time in your lives where you just woke up and say, okay, I need to take a risk and I need to take things differently?
Oh my gosh. Such a profound question. I don't know. Do you know?
I do it all the time. I mean, I don't know. I find it like you know, there's so many things that elements of my job that scare me, and you go forward anyway. And you know, even though I think like the piece that was the connective tissue that really made everything work for me in ways that I wasn't expecting was when I really like embraced this idea that you really can't be good at something unless you're willing to be bad at it. And I think once I embraced this idea that it's okay to suck at something as you learn it or want to, it freed me in a way that I wasn't expecting. So I've always sort of approached things with that mentality, and it's really been pretty great.
Buddy, if we're not real, doesn't that mean that nothing you do matters?
I am sitting here with my best friend trying to help him get through a tough time. Now, if that's not real, I don't know what is.
I have to tell you guys that while I was watching you do these amazing stunts and being these real life video game characters, it kind of made me ask myself in which video games I would be better if I could play in real life, because I'm not as bad as a driver as I am in Mario Kart, for example. I want to think that. So what kind of video game do you think you would be better at in real life than in the actual video game?
Sims for me.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll go to bed, I'll go eat a meal, and there's like that cheat where you can like give yourself millions of pounds.
Yeah, well, I've done that. Yeah.
I'd probably say Sims as well.
This is the first time I've ever driven a car before.
I really wish you'd mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You love you, loser guy!
Thank you. Watch out for them. They seem nice.